My truth versus the truth. Let's talk about it. I've been presented with this challenge like many of you. You hear somebody's discovered a one-sided story about you. There's evidence that has been withheld. There's maybe even flat out lies that have been told. And we think that we've built up enough rapport with positive impact over time that would help shield us from prejudices and biases. But then we hear about this and we're made to look bad, and our instinct is to lash out in anger, and that anger can come from a sense of injustice, which in part it can be valid, but more often than not, it really is just a threat to my ego. It is the worship of self. It is the false idol of self-righteousness. We all want to protect our truth. My truth feels powerful in that situation. I had receipts, I had evidence, I had everything you could imagine to challenge the narrative. But like many of us, I was led in that moment by emotion more than wisdom. And my initial response was rooted in that fragile sense of self-righteousness. It was to protect my image. I cloaked it in injustice, but in reality, it was about protecting and even worshiping self. Christ said, whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. There is something deeply powerful about letting go of the need to be right and the need to be right about yourself. You gain freedom from this. You can live in the truth. The truth is higher ground. We have so many hills that are calling us to die on them, but we only have so much to give away. There's only so much that we can carry in our life. We get to choose whether we carry baggage and the narrative that draws us back in, or do we choose crosses? Baggage is the noise around self-idolatry, and crosses are invitations to lie down identity and pursue something greater than ourselves. In Stoicism, there is a steady rhythm. Focus on what you can control. Not everything requires and deserves my input and response. Here's the reality. I can defend my truth. I can present the evidence. I can correct the narrative. I can push back against one-sided stories. They're just attacking my ego. And for a moment, I'll feel better. I'll feel justified, even vindicated. But what did it actually change? Instead, I was offered something even greater, a gift that was hiding in the suffering that you were going through and I was going through, a chance for a clean break, a chance to be done, to start new, a new chapter. Yet my ego draws me back in. I want to fight. I want to respond. I want to set the record straight. But in doing so, I missed that divine window of opportunity to be free from entanglement in this situation. By grace, in this situation, I was able to pause long enough to whisper prayer and go beyond the outrage and realize what I was fixing to give away. Because here's a deeper truth. It's not my truth. It's not about me. Even if I shared every fact, what would it really change? What would really happen? For a moment, I would feel heard. For a moment, I may have stood up for myself, but in the grand scheme of things, very little would have changed. Most people that you encounter, even the ones that hear these stories, they're just trying to get through their life. Their reactions are temporary. Their attention moves on to something else. And often, if they do have a bias, it remains unchanged regardless of the evidence that's presented. So all I've done is further entangle myself in the very story I was invited by God to leave behind. So instead of feeling the need to defend yourself in every situation, to die on every hill, ask yourself, is this hill worth dying on? Is this something I need to lay down and follow Christ on the cross? Is this about redemption or just my ego? And in those moments where I've been wronged, can I stay silent in my story and move on to my next and let the ego die and begin again and follow the example and pray, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.